Namaste everyone. Today I would like to record this video for you about one long transit that is going to impact all of us quite significantly. And I think it's really important for all of us to know about things like that because, you see, astrology is a little bit like a weather forecast. You can't really change if the rain is coming, but you can at least take an umbrella and prepare yourself. So the transit I'm talking about is the transit of Mars. Mars is already right now, since 26 August, in quite challenging position and is going to remain in quite challenging position all the way until 6 June, which is like almost 9 months, a very, very long time, which is going to impact all of us quite significantly. Because during this time, Mars will be experiencing something that Parashara called Kshudhita Avastha, or starved state, which is at the same time called Sushupti Avastha, or dormant, deep sleep state. And what does it all actually mean? So sage Parashara in Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra defined that different planets, different grahas, go through different states, different avasthas, depending on their company, depending on the sign they are dwelling in. And I also have a workshop on avasthas in case you would like to learn more about it. You will find the link below. Now, Kshudhita Avastha, or starved state of a planet, happens, this is one of the circumstances in which it happens, also when there is Sushupti Avastha, or dormant state, occurring. So it is believed that the planet goes into the state of Sushupti, deep sleep, or dormancy, which is also a starved or malnourished state, whenever a planet transits through the sign of its enemy. Now for Mars, this is going to be either any of the signs of Mercury, be it Gemini or Virgo, or sign of its debilitation, Cancer. Now, of course, almost every year, Mars would transit through Gemini and through Cancer, which would take about 3 to 4 months. But because right now Mars is already slowing down and preparing to go retrograde, unfortunately, Mars is going to go into the retrograde motion while being in those two signs. So right now, as we are speaking, Mars is already in the last degrees of Gemini. It's very slow already, preparing to move into Cancer. And then from Cancer, from the sign of its debilitation, it will go back again forwards into the retrograde motion. Backwards and then forward again back to its sign of debilitation. So this retrograde movement is going to prolong this entire process, this entire time of Mars being starved or dormant, to a huge period of 9 months, which is a really significant amount of time. And it's very important for all of us to know that, to be aware of that, because Mars is the main significator of our willpower, energy, life force, courage, this inner fire inside of us. And when that fire is malnourished, when it's a little dormant, when it's a little asleep, first of all, we will experience less energy, which means we may experience more tiredness, more exhaustion. And we may experience also big fluctuations in energy. One day we may have a lot, and another day it just goes down. So what is very important for all of us to remember in times like that is, first of all, don't overschedule. Because today you may feel you have a lot of energy and tomorrow it won't be there. Don't push yourself too hard either, because you may pay a big price for that. And also try to conserve your life force a little. Don't overspend it just because you have one day when you feel a little bit more energized. Don't try to push yourself too hard. Don't assume that the same level of energy will be there for you every single day, because most likely it won't be. Whenever Mars is going through this Kshudhita Avastha, through this starved state, when his energy is malnourished, we will experience these fluctuations in energy that may be impacted by various external factors as well. Which is why it's important in times like that to have good nourishment, good food, time in nature, something that will replenish your nervous system, something that will actually, help you to stay very regulated and very present, because Mars is one of the main significators of our nervous system as well, according to Sage Parashara. And this is precisely why he's not so happy in the sign of Mercury. That's the sign of overthinking, because our overthinking, unfortunately, our intellectual energy spends a lot of energy of our nervous system and overloads it. He doesn't feel too great in the sign of Cancer either, because we go through a lot of emotion that also can be very agitating to the nervous system. In particular, in the sign of Cancer, Mars experiences debilitation. It's his lowest state, because suddenly his energy becomes overwhelmed by all the emotions, by the dramas, emotional turmoils that we are going through, and emotional regulation and nervous system regulation becomes much harder for us and less accessible. So what I would suggest you for this time period, to prepare yourself the best you can, since it's already on, is just resource yourself. Find things that help you stay regulated emotionally, help your nervous system stay regulated. Maybe it's going on a walk in a park. Maybe it's spending more time with your friends, more time in meditation, prayer. In our times, there are so many practices out there that you can find online, even on my website, that can help you meditate, stay more present in the moment, and counteract that influence. So take advantage of that, and remember, times like this, they are not always the best for beginning something new. They're not always the best, for starting new things, because we may lack energy and resources for that, but they're amazing for working on ourselves. So having said that, I do wish you that this time is as supportive for you as possible, and that it will support you in your personal transformation. Namaste.